happy and blessed Wednesday, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. First and foremost, I want to apologize. I came on here late. I just lost track of time. I was having a great bike ride today and literally just being a kid again, enjoying the nice weather. Just taking it all in because we still have 80-degree weather here in Indiana and I'm enjoying it, soaking it all in. I don't know how many days we have left, but anytime I see all 80s, especially it's all 80s this week, where I'm like, what's going on? So I'm not gonna be the type to complain, but I do wanna apologize, like I said, for coming on here just late. I'll do better. But for those who are new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. My name is Catherine Barnett, and I go by Cat Barnett. And this is the Cat Barnett Podcast, episode 63. And I also help women who struggle with confidence in their faith and fitness develop strategies and systems that lead them to gain clarity, direction, and purpose so that they can be fulfilled as they walk in their calling faithfully. How are all you guys doing? Just want to check in before I get this episode going because, it's something about a new month, a new week, man, that encourages me because that means it is new blessings, new opportunities along with the new month and new week. So I just want to encourage someone out there that there's 3 months left in this year where it's the fourth quarter. I'm already thinking about 2026, but I want to encourage anyone who feels like they are down and out, they're depressed, they've given up on themselves or their goals or dreams that they've had that they set out at the beginning of this year because they think it doesn't matter since we only have 3 months left. I want to tell you that it does matter, even if you start today or at the end of this week, because that's still time that you are ahead of the game before 2026. So I just want to really encourage anyone that, it's not failure uh, or it's not bad if you fail, right? It's not bad if you don't succeed. It's only truly bad or that I believe people regret it is when they actually do give up on their dreams altogether and just quit it altogether. So I just want to yeah, encourage whether it's one person or anyone watching this that you are valuable and you matter to continue to go after whatever is in your heart that God planted in your heart because that's what you deserve and what you have that access and abundance to. So yeah, it's time to tap in, it's time to lock in and finish what you started. If you said you were going to do something at the beginning of this year, let's finish that. If you fell off, let's get back on track. And, this may be a podcast episode where it feels like I'm just encouraging you guys because, just, with what's going on in the world today, all the things we're seeing in the news, in the media, it's just a lot where people are feeling, very depressed or negative thoughts or just going through something where it's not helping them grow or um great or good for their mental. So I want to just talk about today about, we need to get rid of and squash those negative thoughts and the lies that we tell ourselves that quite frankly we've came to believe because we've been repeating those lies so frequently where now we are confusing these lies with truth. So I want to shake somebody free today of You need to get back and really know that these lies that you're feeding yourself or in your um head are not true, because we all have an inner voice, right? So um and sometimes, unfortunately, it's not very kind. I know you guys have heard me say that I'm the biggest critic on myself, and sometimes I can be very hard on myself. It was really bad when I was younger, but over the years, as I've grown, and as I continue to mature as an adult, I am learning to give myself grace, and I am learning to be compassionate with myself, because it all starts with us. Because often the voice that we tell ourselves is that we're not enough, that we're unworthy of something, whether it's of love or of getting something that we desire, or that we don't measure up to even the people around us. So these are some of the most common lies that we tell ourselves, and they can be incredibly damaging, you guys, especially if we start to believe these lies that we're telling ourselves. So, like I've stated, because I've struggled personally with lies in the past, and sometimes even I still struggle with what we call cognitive dissonance, with feeding myself lies that, I'm not good enough, or I won't amount up to what I set out for, or who do I think I am to go after this dream or desire in my heart. All lies that the devil tries to plant into my mind, but I have to remember whose I am first, and then who I am in Jesus Christ. And that's what gets me back on track. So these lies that we tell ourselves can become a vicious cycle if we're not careful, um, because we tell ourselves these negative things or these negative thoughts, and over time, they start to feel like truth, like I stated before. Because if you continue to repeat them, because the more we repeat them, the more they shape our self esteem and influence our actions. So we might, because of this, avoid opportunities that come our way, withdraw from relationships, or settle for less than we deserve, all because we've convinced ourselves that these lies are our reality. So we need to remember that uh the power of the tongue is also very real. So we need to be mindful of what we're speaking out of our mouths. So you need to be mindful that if it's a negative thing, you're speaking life into that negative thing. If it's a positive thing, you're speaking life into that positive thing. And also the power of our beliefs as well. So you need to remember that the language that we use, both spoken and internal, is incredibly powerful. So when we say these things, whether it's the positive or the negative, they can either uplift us or tear us down, depending on the words we choose. So that's what I said. You have to every day. This is a daily thing. Be mindful of the thoughts that enter your mind, the words you're speaking out of your mouth, because when we repeatedly tell ourselves lies, we create also a negative energy. And I'm big on energy. So that also can drain our motivation and diminish our sense of self-worth. You ever been around somebody that they're so negative, and you were in such a great mood and you had such great energy, but by the time you were done talking to them, you felt depleted or your energy was drained? It's because that's all energy, like. And unfortunately, we feed off of people's energy, especially the people that we're around. So you have to be also mindful of who you're around, who's in your circle. Are they negative all the time, or are they uplifting and encouraging? So do inventory too. Now is the perfect time with 3 months left in the year to do inventory of who you may need to cut out of your life or just limit your time with, or who you need to be more around. Who is inspiring, who uplifts you, who's giving you great advice, um, who's not jealous of you. Those are the people you need to be around. So I think the good news is that we have the power to change our narrative by choosing to speak differently about ourselves. So it all starts with us. And how are you talking to yourself? What are you uh, speaking into yourself when you're looking into the mirror is also going to help shape you. Because I think one of the most powerful ways that we can do this is through the I am statements. So these declarations are not just about describing like who we are as people or as a person. It's more about affirming our identity and worth. So if you've never tried this before, I encourage you guys to try this exercise even today, by saying I am, uh, before you're making a profound statement about yourself. So that can either reinforce a negative belief that you've built up or a positive one. So lately in the mirror, when I wake up or when I go into the bathroom, I am saying, I am a child of God. I am a daughter of the King, and I am loved and worthy of whatever he has for me. And those are the three things that I've been saying lately in the mirror before I start my day. And it's just been very, very beneficial for me. So I encourage you guys to do that. And just a side note, while I was doing research, I found out that in the Judeo Christian tradition, I am is also a name of God, which speaks to the divine nature of these words. So, whether or not you connect with this tradition or whatever your belief is, like I said, I'll never push my belief on anyone. But on this podcast, on this channel, I definitely uh, will talk about Jesus, will talk about God, because I am a believer of Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. So, yes, this is a safe space for that. So, but you can't deny, there's no denying the power in declaring though who you truly are. So a positive I am statement can help you align your thoughts and actions with the person that you want to be. So replacing lies with empowering truths are what's going to be very important. So, like, how do we begin to even do that? So the first step is to identify them. So identify the lies that you're telling yourself. Pay attention to the negative thoughts that pop up in your mind. Those are the moments when you are going to find yourself saying that I am not enough. I am not loved or worthy of love. I am not someone that people want to be friends with. I'm not as good as everyone else I see on social media, at work, etc., etc. So, like, once you've identified these lies, I encourage you guys to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought that I'm having in my mind really true? Or where did this belief come from? Like, why am I having these thoughts in my mind right now, these negative thoughts? And then next, I want to challenge you to replace these lies with empowering truths. So, for example, instead of saying I'm not enough, you might say I am enough just as I am. I am enough just as I am. Instead of saying I'm not worthy of love, you could say I am worthy of love and connection. These positive statements may feel uncomfortable at first. Believe me, the lies that I've said to myself that I would constantly fill with my head. But when I learned this I am exercise and started incorporating in my life, it felt very uncomfortable. It felt like I was lying about these empowering truths that I was telling myself. But over time, it became more natural. It became true because it was what I started to believe. So, especially if you've been telling yourself these lies for a long period of time, it's going to take time for you to start to actually believe them and the truth about these empowering truths, and for it to feel comfortable saying it out loud. So, but with practice, uh, by saying these empowering and positive statements, they can start to reshape your self perception. And that's what it's all about, feeling your best and then looking your best. So, a couple things that, like I wrote down that I want to encourage anybody to say some empowering, positive statements that, I uh, want to have it started incorporating or want to incorporate is I am a daughter, or if you're a son of a loving God, I am intentional. I am full of value to bring to the world. I am enough. Just a few that positive affirmations that you can say that can help you stay aligned with the truth of who you are after the lies have came up and have tried to hold you back. So um before I end this episode, I want to go over the importance of self-belief, and just let me know if you're getting value from this, if you're watching live, or if you're watching the replay. Let me know that you've gotten value. But yes, the importance of self-belief, because believing in your worth and potential, I believe, is truly transformative. Because when you truly believe that you are valuable, loved, and capable, your actions will naturally start to reflect that belief. You'll be more likely to pursue your goals, take risks, and connect with others in meaningful ways. So, self belief is not about arrogance or ego. I think that's what sometimes people can confuse that with. No, it's about recognizing the truth of your own worth and living in alignment with that truth. So it's also important to remember that you don't have to go through this journey alone. That's why you'll constantly hear me talk about community, seeking out support and connection is very important, especially if this is new territory to you. If you're used to always telling yourself lies or negative thoughts, you need to start being around people that are positive and that can, speak life into you when you are low and you're feeling those lies that the devil is constantly feeding into you. So, um, I think if you're struggling to shift your internal narrative, that it is very important to seek that support. Whether it's through individual coaching, group coaching, or just simply connecting with others who uplift and encourage you, having that support can make all the difference. So I want to encourage anybody who's going to watch this or watching this live, I'm going to start posting calendarly where, I want to start setting up free one-on-one calls, just 15 to 30 minutes, uh, encouraging people, helping people have a game plan, to get on the right track and propel into the best 2026 that they can imagine. So, with that being said, just be on the lookout. But I hope you guys got value from this episode, and that just continue to know that we all go through those days where we don't feel our best. Uh, Certain lies are flooding our minds, but I just want to encourage you to know, if you haven't heard it from anybody today, just know that you are valuable, you are loved, and you are worthy to achieve all the greatness that God has uh, destined for you. So, um, if you don't believe that, I hope truly you believe that one of these days, and hopefully sooner than later. But just know you are loved. And if no one told you that today, just know I love you. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and even better week. And peace, love, and blessings always. I'll see you guys right back here next Wednesday. Peace.